My first experience with crank was when I was 12 years old. I snuck into my father's room and took a sniff of the odd white powdery substance in his drawer. It wasn't much, but I got a small head rush and became very hyper. 3 years later, now, I get high about 4 to 5 times a week, about every other month, normally by smoking. Unless I don't have the equipment, then I'm forced to snort. Right after snorting that 2.5 line, your eyes fill with tears and your nose feels like it is on fire. Luckily this only lasts about 10 to 20 seconds depending on size and quality. The burn is quickly followed by an extremely bitter flavor dripping down the back of your throat, which most people run for a pop to wash it away. The instant rush lasts an extremely long time compared to coke. Normally about 3 to 6 hours, in that time you feel like you can do anything. Normally there is a rush of sexual excitement when used. There is also the feeling of being very energetic, like you can run faster, lift more and even talk more but feel little or no fatigue. The worst part is the hunger, but you don't want to eat. I always try to force down some food every time I get high. This makes it so your body won't be worn out the next day. Make sure to drink lots of water as dehydration is very common. To conclude these tips, always try to get sleep. If you can't sleep, lie in your bed and rest. It works almost as well. Now, back to me. I started to use every weekend with my friends. We were always looking for the best high possible, from marijuana to LSD. We all took a liking to crank and LSD, which we did whenever we could. We started snorting crank, then smoking, our favorite way. But then one of my friends started to shoot up, which we all ended up trying. Everyone liked it but me. It is the best high you can get from crank, but it's very addictive. My friends started to do anything for another slam, from robbing people's houses to convenience stores. In the end, all 3 of my doper friends ended up in rehab. 2 of them had broken necks from a car wreck on their way to get more crank. That left me. I am very happy that I have only mainlined one time and knew to stop instead of ending up like the rest. If you don't want to be an addict, don't shoot up. If you live in WA or OR states, meth should be fairly easy to come by, either by use or just a way for fast money. I recommend the usage as long as you can control it. A simple test is to get high in the daytime around 2 to 3 and have 1 line left over. If you do the line, you need to learn to control it, or get help. If you don't do it, you're fine. Laughing face. If you are seeking the ultimate rush that lasts long, do crank. If you want a quick rush that is 2x as good, but won't last as long, do 1 line of coke, then 1 line of crank. The rush is better because you have the energy from the crank, and the numbness and ambitions to get up and go from the coke. This way is also good because the crank covers up the quick come down from cocaine, because the crank is just getting started. Winking face. The worst mistake of a tweaker is to get caught in public, or arouse suspicions. Before you start getting spun and going out in the day more often, learn to control your speaking rate, and the constant looking around, grinding your teeth, and movement. If possible, be in a very well lit place, because in normal lighting when you are high your pupils are dilated, almost covering the color of your eyes. Then this brings me to quality. You can't check quality by checking if it's white or not. That is bullshit. Crank is made from many chemicals and can be any different color. You can either taste it, the stronger bitter taste the better, but if it leaves your mouth with a cool feeling, it is most likely cut with Epsom salt. But if it's cut with a baby laxative, which I can't remember the name of, you won't be able to tell by taste. The other way is to burn it on aluminium foil, when burnt until the crank is completely gone. If the crank left an odd-colored residue like blue or a thick black film that can be scraped off, then it's probably not very good. It should be a brownish residue that won't flake off. Sometimes someone will say, "It's pure crank," or something like that. Don't listen to that. There is no such thing as pure crank. Most of the stuff in it is under your kitchen sink. In all my experiences, I have never had a drug that helped me do schoolwork or just little things around the house. That is the reason most people use it. Because it doesn't make you slow down like weed, it speeds you up so you get things done. I fully recommend the use of methamphetamines to anyone that is looking for a rush, feeling of well-being, and more self-confidence. But some people do get addicted. To avoid drowsy mornings, drink lots of water, eat something, and attempt to sleep.